This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Wednesday, May 13th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
If you knew my son, you love my son.
Nearly 1 week after Drajon Reed's death, we're hearing from his mother. This morning, the message she wants the community to hear.
We'll be flexible with customers. We're wanting to contact us. In fact, we want them to contact us now.
Bills are adding up for Hoosiers out of work. Working for you, we're looking at the assistance one utility is providing to those who need it.
Went from 0 to 100 pretty much overnight.
COVID-19 is changing the way teachers in the Hoosier state are delivering lessons. We're looking at how one woman is helping teachers deal with the stress and emotions brought on by the pandemic. And a special group of high school seniors are jumping on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic. This morning, we're talking to the students about the reward they say they're getting out of the program.
A lot of great stories coming up from you here at 6 o'clock on Good Morning Indiana. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lauren Casey, and we continue social distancing. Todd Clausen and Rafael Sanchez reporting from home. Rafael, thanks for joining us down in Johnson County.
So good morning. Today will not be so glorious outdoors, which means I wanted to show you this glorious sight that we saw yesterday up above. The Blue Angels. Did you see this? Simply spectacular. Their flight over central Indiana in honor of healthcare workers, worthy of another instant replay. Todd, the temperatures may not be as glorious, but that sight was simply spectacular. Wow.
Yeah, you know, it was absolutely amazing to see. And then a lot of people I've seen posting on social media just capturing like the perfect moment as they flew over to whether their homes or with the city skyline in the background. So it was nice to see them do that. And of course, it was a nice gesture for all the healthcare workers there all across not only this state, but they've been touring other states as well. Temperatures here this morning are in the 30s and 40s. Skies are partly cloudy this morning. We're going to start you off with sunshine here on this Wednesday. And you'll notice on the satellite radar picture, there's a little more in the way of cloud cover to the south, and there's a few spotty showers to the south as well. And this is part of a warm front, and that warm front is going to do two things. Obviously, it's going to bring us some warmer temperatures, not so much today, but in the coming days. But it's also going to start to bring some of that rain into the forecast as well. And that's the trade-off we'll have to deal with. Warmer temperatures for some rain opportunities. Today, there could be a stray shower in southern locations. Otherwise, we are looking at partly cloudy skies to start, becoming mostly cloudy throughout the day with a high temperature, Lauren, here in the city, right around 60 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads, maybe heading to work early this morning. You can see the sun starting to rise over the Circle City, and this is a look downtown, I-65 and I-70 here at the North Split. Just a reminder, we still have all lanes of I-70 closed between the North Split and the east side, but the eastbound lanes are set to reopen today. NDOT tweeting out last night that those lanes will be opening in the evening hours. So still keep that in mind as you're heading out the door this morning and throughout the day today. Rafael.
Well, the time now is 6:03. Many questions remain unanswered in the death of Drajon Reed. Metro Police say the 21-year-old was killed 1 week ago following a police chase, ending with an exchange of gunfire near 62nd and Michigan. And this morning, his family stepping forward to share a message about their loss.
And our
Kelsey Anderson, she joins us live this morning with what they had to say. Kelsey?
Hey, good morning, Rafael. So what this family wants right now is transparency, and they also want to know exactly what happened and why their son was shot and killed by an IMPD officer 1 week ago today. The attorney for the family, Fatima Johnson, says his parents, Jamie Reed and Dimitri Wynn, are not only concerned about the investigation, but they're also concerned about the people of Indianapolis. Reed's mother is a nurse and wants protesters to be safe as well as respectful, while balancing the thoughts of a high-profile police investigation, an upset community, and the loss of their son. Drajon Reed's family is also conflicted on how they now view the police. His sister aspires to be a K-9 officer. His mother served in the military, and the loss of Drajon has now caused the family to see police in a different light.
Some people have never had trust. They've never experienced that feeling that they've had before, where they trusted the police. and they trusted law enforcement, and they trusted the system, and they trusted that if a report came out, the report was right, and if a police officer said something, that's the way it happened. Some people have never experienced that. This family has, and so there's a lot of cognitive dissonance going on right now.
Johnson says it's too soon to know if the city's plan to issue body cameras to IMPD officers will heal the distrust from the community. Now, at a press conference yesterday, Reed's father says he thinks that what his son did by running from the police was wrong, but he does not believe that his son deserved to die. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
So, Kelsey, let's stay on the issue of public safety because Indy's mayor says that IMPD officers will start wearing body cameras this summer. He also announced the creation of a use of force review board. It will include officers and civilians to review any use of deadly force by an IMPD officer. Mayor Joe Hogsett says it is one of the many ways the city and Metro Police are working to rebuild and build trust with the community. The announcements were made Tuesday during a virtual news conference. Leaders with the African American Coalition of Indianapolis agree it is a step in the right direction.
We still have lots to do in the process, but at least the steps to get us toward a greater degree of acceptability and accountability is being put in place.
Indy's mayor points out that these changes were already in the works before last week's police-related incidents.
Raphael, the time right now is 6:06. We want to turn now to how the coronavirus is impacting Hoosier families just like yours. State health officials reporting 566 new cases of the coronavirus. So far, more than 25,000 Hoosiers have tested positive since the pandemic began. The state also confirms 33 new deaths from the virus. COVID-19 has now claimed the lives of 1,444 people in the state of Indiana. And nearly 24 additional testing sites are opening across Indiana later today. That's according to the state health department. The sites will be located in several local counties, including Boone, Hancock, Hamilton, Marion, and Monroe. You're encouraged to get tested if you have COVID-19 symptoms, if you've been exposed to the virus, or if you're in one of those high-risk categories. The state-sponsored testing sites are free. You can register by going to lhi.care/COVID testing or by calling 888-634-1116.
The time now is 6:07, and this morning, the mayor of Indianapolis will discuss steps to reopen Marion County amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The county's stay-at-home order is still in full effect, at least through Friday, despite restrictions being eased across most of our state. Marion County has by far the most confirmed cases of the virus. Look for live coverage of today's update on the RTV6 app that's beginning at 10:30 this morning. The Rebound Indiana, our initiative here at RTV6 to make sure that you have the resources that you need to make a personal comeback from this pandemic. So this morning, let's talk about your water and gas bill. I just found out that later this week, Citizens Energy Group will begin an outreach effort via TV, social media, and your mail to help 50,000 people with an overdue water and gas bill. Now, nearly 13,000 people were facing disconnection before COVID-19, and their services were kept on before the governor's order. Citizens says it wants to help people set up payment plans, plus connect customers to groups offering financial assistance right now.
We'll be flexible with customers. We're wanting to contact us. In fact, we want them to contact us now to, if they can, get started on payment arrangements, and at the very least get information about financial assistance sources that are available. Once the moratorium.
So let's get right to the details. Right now, there can be no disconnections, right? So it's a good time to start applying for help. The moratorium could expire on June the 4th unless the governor extends that. So here's how you can connect with services. You can call 211 to determine which provider runs the energy assistance program in your area. You can also reach out to this very long email address. So just bear with me. It is eap.ihcda.gov in.gov. We will put this on our website and on the app so that you can write it down. We'll also repeat it at 6:30, so keep that in mind. Also, something new. The feds awarded the state $17 million to help with energy assistance. The good thing, here's the good thing about these dollars, is that the funding can go to people that usually would not be eligible for this program. People laid off during the COVID-19 situation could apply for this assistance. Lauren?
Well, Raphael, dozens of businesses up in Fishers are getting help to rebound from the coronavirus crisis, and it's all thanks to loans from the city. The city has awarded $505,000 in loans to 73 companies, including the Lash Lounge on 116th Street. It was only open for 6 months before shutting down due to the pandemic. Co-owner Allison Lewis Lottie says that the city has gone above and beyond to help her business, reaching out immediately to make her aware of this financial assistance as well as health and safety concerns.
I know owners of small businesses all across the country, and there's no one who's told me they've had an experience like that with their local municipality.
Our folks are walking the streets, knocking on doors, and just coming in and introducing themselves and saying, how can we help? Here's some information, here's some resources.
Lash Lounge plans to open next week. Hours will be expanded since fewer customers will be allowed inside at one time. Staff and guests will also be required to wear personal protective equipment.
The time now is 6:11 here on Good Morning Indiana. They started the school year as students, and now they're working on the front line. Alyssa Donovan has more on this exciting program. Alyssa, good morning.
It's an introduction to the medical field these students could have never expected. And now at 17 and 18 years old, they're helping patients through the coronavirus pandemic. Morgan Adams is one of 10 students from the Wabash River Technical Education Center who's now working as a certified nursing assistant, a program they completed earlier in the school year. While their classmates are taking it easy second semester, completing schoolwork at home, these seniors are working long hours in nursing homes across western Indiana.
At the beginning, I was like, oh, this isn't really fair. They get to sleep in. But then I thought about it, and I'm going there for a reason, and I'm helping out any way that I can. So it makes me feel better and feel like I accomplished something.
I'm extremely proud of them.
Their instructor, Jennifer Usselman, says she's seen her students mature overnight while assisting on the front lines of the pandemic.
They don't really talk about how stressful it is on them. They're talking about how stressful it is on the residents, on the people that they're taking care of.
Like all seniors, Adams missed her prom, and she missed a graduation ceremony where she would have walked the stage as a valedictorian. But she says the experience she gained working in the medical field during this time is irreplaceable.
I think it's making me more prepared and actually giving me more knowledge and stuff.
And I said, if you can do this and get through this kind of, crisis at your age, I think you're going to make it in the healthcare field.
The instructor says most of these seniors plan to go on to nursing school. And since the pandemic started, she's seen more students signing up for her health career classes. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
All right. Thank you, Alyssa. With many of us still working from home, me included, obviously, I can't take my little setup here to the patio in the backyard, but you may be able to take your work into the backyard and work outside. Today's not a bad day. It starts off a little on the cool side today, but we'll warm up to highs right around 60 degrees later on this afternoon with some sunshine at times throughout the day, but overall it becomes mostly cloudy as the day progresses. Today's the last day at the cooler temperatures. Much warmer air is heading our way in the coming days. More on that coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:13.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. As teachers and parents are adapting to the new dynamics of e-learning, RTV6 is sharing how one educator wanted to give back.
And this morning, our Stephanie Wade with an effort giving teachers tools to manage difficult situations and emotions caused by COVID-19.
Hi, and welcome to day 10
in a video series.
Closing out about week 6 of at-home learning.
Social emotional learning coach for Washington Township Schools, Madeline Mason, is arming teachers with tangible tools they can practice at home.
We do a lot of breathing exercises. We do some visualization.
She teaches them mindfulness and coping mechanisms, recognizing teachers are experiencing new stressors, navigating the digital world, completely transitioning to e-learning.
It's like we went from 0 to 100 pretty much overnight. I've experienced a lot of teachers just feeling like they aren't doing enough.
My whole aim all year long is to prepare students for not only the high stakes test, but the next year, and to make sure I can fill in any gaps, make sure they're thoroughly prepared and they can move on successfully. And that's really hard to do when you can't see them and you don't talk to them very often.
A math teacher at Northview Middle School, Dr. Sheila Akinlier, says Mason's videos have really helped not only her, but how she can help her students too.
Just helping me to be centered, to remember to breathe.
Have compassion for yourself and give yourself grace so that you can then extend that to our students who are struggling with the same things.
Prioritizing keeping her math lessons light, fun, and engaging, Dr. Akinlier is now also checking in with her students emotionally.
We talk about how we're doing. We talk about what's going on in our lives. Sometimes it's a lighthearted discussion about coronavirus, any questions they have, just whatever they really feel like talking about so that they don't feel confined.
Saying the need for some uplifting is huge right now.
We need our teachers, we need all of our people to be well, to connect with our kids and to keep our world going.
Working for you, Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
So here's the good news. Anyone can access these amazing tools. They're all on Madeline Mason's YouTube channel. Just look up her name, Madison Mason, and you'll get all the things you need to help you out as well. Lauren?
All right, Raphael, thank you so much. We do want to take a turn right now to our forecast and check in with Todd Clausen and see what we can expect as we head out the door this Wednesday. Todd, today's kind of the transition day, right?
Hey, here I am. So I was typing up the forecast for the web and caught me by surprise here a little bit as we go throughout the course of the morning. Yeah, right. We're starting off with a little bit of cooler weather here, Lauren. And here's the live look from downtown off to the north. And in that northerly direction, you see a little bit of sunshine. And in northern locations, you're going to see more sunshine throughout the day today compared to southern location. And as a result, your temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer. 38 in Kokomo right now. 44 is the current temperature in Indy, and Bloomington is at 47. And you can see the clouds and even a few showers now trying to get going across southern locations from Bedford over towards Seymour. And it's part of this warm front that is just down to our south. And that warm front will move north throughout the day today and eventually usher in some warmer temperatures. So highs today in northern locations will be in the 60s. That's due to sunshine compared to temperatures in southern locations today that are probably only going to be in the 50s, and that's due to more in the way of cloud cover. So today's still below normal anywhere you are, but there will be a temperature spread across the area. Now, as we work our way into the overnight hours, temperatures will actually hold pretty steady as that warm front goes north. There could be a few spotty showers overnight tonight as well. And then as we get into tomorrow, look what happens. Temperatures will surge into the 80s for most locations. Those 60s that you see to the north, that is rain-cooled air. You too will get close to 80 degrees up in the Peru area as well as Marion before those storms start to make their way into the area. Now, as far as the rain chances go for tomorrow, they're not great. They're only about 10 to 20% coverage across the area. So you don't need to cancel plans tomorrow. There'll be an opportunity to get out and enjoy that nice mild air that's finally working its way in. Skies will be partly to mostly cloudy. And as we go throughout the day on tomorrow, you'll notice there will be some spotty showers around in the morning as that warmer air starts to make its way into the area. Much of the afternoon will be dry until we start to see those storms develop across northern locations. And I do think the rain chances tomorrow are just going to be across the northern portion of the state. If you do see them, however, there will be the potential that some of those storms could be on the strong to severe side, with wind being the main threat. The showers and storms a little more numerous throughout the day on Friday at 75 degrees. And as we work our way into the weekend, still nice and warm, but back to scattered storms. So there's a lot of dry hours for Saturday and Sunday as well. And then next week looking great. Temperature still in the 70s and plenty of sunshine Monday and Tuesday.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. Take you up to the Carmel area. Good morning to you. This is US 31, a little south of Rangeline Road. Now, heads up, we did have a gas leak reported in the evening hours yesterday near 116th Street and Rangeline Road. That was closing some directions of the roads earlier this morning. Just got an update, though, about 15 minutes ago that is clear. All lanes are back open. No more issues to report in the Carmel area. We'll be right back after the short break.
Senior living in the heart of Carmel.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:25. Raphael, it's time to talk about what is trending at 6.
So if I say you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, who am I talking about?
Oprah, of course.
Oprah. So imagine getting to talk to Oprah for 1 hour. What an amazing time to be able to do that. That's what Akila, an 18-year-old from New York City, did this week thanks to the Make-A-Wish organization, still finding creative ways to grant wishes amid this pandemic. Oprah and Akila talked about acting and why it's key to be in the moment every day. What a special moment for those two ladies. Wow.
Yeah, I love the virtual wish granted there. That's very cool. Well, here's a great idea. A 10-year-old in Riverside, California just really wanted to give her grandparents a hug. I think we all do. So Paige created this plastic curtain made of Ziploc bags and a shower curtain, used some hot glue, even has those arm slots so you can give them a full-on hug. Paige says she got the idea when she saw people using blankets to hug family members. That's pretty creative.
I love that creativity. That's amazing. Wow. And bravo to the dedication of Sidney Bailey. He's our hometown hero on this Wednesday. He currently serves as an ICU RN in Texas. His proud family lives right here in Indianapolis. A big thank you to all healthcare workers and essential workers doing their best during this time. Now let's check your forecast with our very own Todd Clausen.
Good morning, Raphael. Good morning, everybody. I know I've been touting the warmer weather heading our way throughout the week. Today's the last day that we'll have to deal with somewhat cooler temperatures across the area. Tomorrow, we will get close to 80 degrees. This morning, as you walk out the door, it's not as chilly as it has been the past few mornings when we had to worry about frost and freeze conditions. We're in the upper 30s to mid 40s across the area already, and we'll see those temperatures climb to near 55 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Today's high temperatures will depend on where you live. Where we hang on to the sunshine the longest in northern locations should be in the mid 60s later on this afternoon, where the clouds are thicker and there's the chance of a few spotty showers this afternoon. A little bit cooler to the south today. Bloomington 58 degrees, 61 in Indianapolis. We'll talk more about the 80-degree potential for tomorrow coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, the good news is businesses are now preparing to reopen after nearly 7 weeks of lockdown. But the bad news is some of the employees are afraid to go back to work. They're concerned for their safety. Working for you, our John Matarese looks into whether you can stay home so you don't waste your money.
Stores, office buildings, and some restaurants are now starting to reopen. But some employees are not sure they want to go back to work just yet, and they're wondering if they could collect unemployment for a couple more months. Hair salons are starting to reopen in some states and calling stylists back to work. But Chrissy Yelton isn't sure she feels comfortable.
We cut hair. We're inches from people's faces. Multiple clients a day.
Her franchise just sent this letter stating, "We'd like you to resume work. We will formally notify the state unemployment office." That means no more unemployment benefits. It's the same at other businesses like Starbucks, where workers are now being recalled. But some are nervous, saying they're reluctant to deal with customers all day. But from the Doesn't That Stink file, what happens if you don't go in? Business Insider says fearful Starbucks employees say they'd rather collect unemployment than risk their health returning to work, except they can't. That's right. If your business recalls you, it's go back or go unpaid, no matter how worried you are about catching COVID, like Chrissy.
So that's 20 to 30 times a day that I could potentially be exposed to a virus.
But the U.S. Department of Labor says unemployment ends when you are recalled, unless you have COVID-19 or are caring for someone who has it. If you have serious health concerns, speak with your employer, but staying home could become costly. So always don't waste your money. I'm John Mattis for RTV6.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. This morning, Mayor Joe Hogsett will talk more about the next steps to reopen businesses in Marion County as we look to rebound from the COVID-19 pandemic. The county stay-at-home order is still in effect through at least Friday. We'll have live coverage of the mayor's announcement at 10:30 this morning at theindychannel.com and the RTV6 app.
If you live in Hamilton County, the pandemic means you may not be voting at your usual polling place during next month's primary election. The county is changing polling locations to make them more widespread to help limit lines and promote social distancing. Hamilton County residents will soon get a bright yellow postcard in the mail that will tell you where you will vote. You can also check your polling location online at indianavoters.com.
And there's a new principal at the Hendricks County School thrown into turmoil last year when a now former teacher and coach was charged with child seduction. This man, Matt Rund, has been named principal for Tri-West High School. Rund replaces Adam Benner, who resigned last year during a Call 6 investigation of former coach Tyler Bruce. Bruce was later charged with having an inappropriate relationship with a student. It is 6:30 here on Wednesday, May 13th. Thanks for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Rafael Sanchez. Welcome to the official RTV6 living room as we know it, as we continue to social distance. And Todd Clausen, we are waiting for a weather comeback. So we're going to have to get through today, right? Because tomorrow is the prize.
Yeah, you know, once we're through today, we get into the warmer temperatures. That's the good news. And we've had some warmer temperatures here and there across the area throughout this spring, but we're finally going to string a lot of days together with temperatures in the 70s and even the 80s. But as Raphael mentioned, we have to get through today first. It's kind of that transition day. Live look from downtown to the north shows off in the distance more in the way of sunshine. This will be the case throughout the entire day today. The further north you are, the more sunshine you will see. The further south you are, the more clouds you will see, and temperatures will actually reverse themselves. So it's cooler where it's clear right now to the north at 38 in Tipton and Muncie, warmer where the clouds are in place at Bloomington at 47. But with the sunshine now starting to appear, the places that are clear in northern locations will see their temperatures climb a lot quicker than locales with the clouds in place. In fact, there's a few spotty showers sneaking into the Bedford and Seymour area. Currently across the area, this is part of a warm front that is down to our south. This warm front will make its way north as we go throughout the overnight hours. With it will come some rain chances, but also some much warmer temperatures that I was alluding to. Tomorrow potentially could be near 80 degrees. Today we're stuck around 60. We'll talk more about the warmth and those storm chances heading our way coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're keeping a close eye on your roads as you're heading out the door this Wednesday. Here's a look at I-465, a little west of Emerson Avenue near the Beech Grove area. You can see the sun coming up there off in a distance over the horizon. Traffic is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound in this area. So no crashes, no delays right now to report around the metro area to slow down your Wednesday commute. It is 6:32. Drejon Reed was shot and killed after a police chase just 1 week ago. Now an attorney for the family of Reed tells RTV6 the family cannot begin to heal until they know exactly what happened to their son. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with more on the message the family is trying to send. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Lauren. So again, they want to know what happened to their son and why he was killed by an IMPD officer a week ago today. And they also want transparency throughout this entire investigation. The attorney for the family, Fatima Johnson, says his parents, Jamie Reed and Dimitri Wynn, are not only concerned about the investigation, but they're also concerned about the people of Indianapolis. Reed's mother is a nurse and wants protesters to be safe as well as respectful.
She doesn't want anything to be done in her son's name that is not congruent with the foundation that she laid for her son. She's a very respectful person, and she lie is a curse in their house. So one of those old school.
Johnson says it's too soon to know if the city's plan to issue body cameras to IMPD officers will heal the distrust from the community. Now, at a press conference yesterday, Reed's father says he doesn't think what his son did was right from running from the police, but he also says he doesn't believe his son should have died. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you. This morning, the police chase and shooting death of Drejon Reed remains under investigation. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears has asked for a special prosecutor to be appointed, and he's also asked for outside help from the Justice Department and the FBI. Reed was 21 years old when he was killed 1 week ago following that police chase. It ended near 62nd in Michigan. Police say that Reed fired shots at an officer during a foot chase before he was killed.
It is our obligation to identify where those credibility gaps exist and how we can address them.
City leaders announcing changes to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department to improve transparency and accountability. And that will include a plan to equip all officers with body cameras. This announcement being made after 2 deadly confrontations with police just last week. And in both of those cases, the officers did not have a body camera, but that will soon change. The plan to add body cameras has been discussed now for 6 years. But yesterday, Mayor Hogsett committed to having all officers equipped with them by this summer. Another big change coming, a new force review board that will be made up of both officers and appointed community members. Mayor Hogsett says these changes were already in the works and will be an ongoing effort. Community leaders we spoke to say this is a step in the right direction, but they say there is still a long way to go.
The community, understandably, wants the assurance that the city and IMPD are doing everything we can to provide our officers the best equipment, the best technology that protects them and protects the community as a whole.
We still have lots to do in the process, but at least the steps to get us toward a greater degree of acceptability and accountability is being put in place.
So you just heard from the community and the member, but in response to all of that, there was a response from the Fraternal Order of Police, the FOP, which represents police officers. They say this statement to us on RTV6. It says in part, "We are grateful for such action, given that our collective FOP membership called for such an investment 475 days ago. It is disappointing that such announcements take place suddenly in the midst of 2 use of force incidents while they are still being examined." The statement goes on to say civilian oversight already exists through the Civilian Police Merit Board, which oversees the actions of officers, hiring, promotions, terminations, discipline, other personnel matters, and policy practices of the agency.
At 6:37, they started out the school year as students, but the course of their education changed dramatically due to COVID-19. Our Alyssa Donovan has a story of how these people went from high school students right to the front lines of this pandemic.
It's an introduction to the medical field these students could have never expected. And now at 17 and 18 years old, they're helping patients through the coronavirus pandemic. Morgan Adams is one of 10 students from the Wabash River Technical Education Center who's now working as a certified nursing assistant, a program they completed earlier in the school year. While their classmates are taking it easy second semester, completing schoolwork at home, these seniors are working long hours in nursing homes across western Indiana. Their instructor, Jennifer Usselman, says she's seen her students mature overnight while assisting on the front lines of the pandemic.
And I said, if you can do this and get through this kind of, crisis at your age, I think you're going to make it in the healthcare field.
Like all seniors, Adams missed her prom, and she missed a graduation ceremony where she would have walked the stage as a valedictorian. But she says the experience she gained working in the medical field during this time is irreplaceable. The instructor says most of these seniors plan to go on to nursing school. And since the pandemic started, she's seen more students signing up for her health career classes. I'm Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. So he shared a meme on Facebook that critics say was racist. Next, a lawmaker who has faced similar criticism in the past now faces calls for punishment from his African-American colleagues.
And he says he's coming back after his law license suspension, but the governor wants to know if he can. Coming up, the continuing court battle over Curtis Hill's future. That's coming up on Good Morning Indiana when we return right here on RTV6. Stick around.
Fresh for everyone.
The time now is 6:42. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana. And covering the State House this morning, some Democrats and civil rights organizations are calling for disciplinary action against a Republican state lawmaker. We're talking about Jim Lucas, a state lawmaker who shared on his personal Facebook page what some are calling a racist meme. Here is what we know so far. Lucas is from Seymour, and he represents District 69 in the State House. The image he shared, it shows black children celebrating what the meme calls free money from the government. We at RTV6 are not sharing the image because of its content. Lucas has not released an official statement, but continues to defend the post on social media. So on Tuesday, the chair of the Indiana Black Legislative Caucus called for Republican leaders at the State House to remove Lucas from his committees. Democratic Representative Robin Shackelford issued the following statement. She says, quote, "Silence from the Republican leadership on this discriminatory matter will be taken as an indication of support of Lucas's offensive behavior." The Black Caucus is also calling for mandatory implicit training for all state lawmakers.
At 6:43, Governor Holcomb has asked the state Supreme Court for clarification about a punishment given to Attorney General Curtis Hill. Specifically, the governor wants to know if Hill can automatically be disqualified from holding office once the suspension of his law license takes effect next Monday. Holcomb sent this letter to the Indiana Supreme Court asking for that clarification, and this week, the court announced a 30-day suspension of Hill's law license over allegations of sexual misconduct involving a state lawmaker and 3 other women, but the court did not address the question of whether that suspension meant that Hill had to be removed from office. Hill says his chief deputy will be his temporary replacement until his law license is reinstated, but the governor has indicated that he would appoint a new attorney general if Hill is removed from office.
As we work to rebound from the coronavirus pandemic, your utilities are working to rebound as well. Next, how one energy provider is working with its customers to make sure they don't get disconnected before the summer. Let's check now in with our Todd Clausen. Good morning, Todd.
Raphael, good morning to you. If you are taking to the sidewalks or the streets today to get a little bit of exercise, no alerts for you. Good conditions with temperatures that will be right around 60 degrees for most of us. As we work our way into the evening hours tonight, there will be the chance of a few spotty showers, but rain chances will ramp up as the warmer air starts to work its way in. We'll talk about the warmth and these rain chances heading our way in the coming days coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:44.
To Keller and Keller.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:47. Here's a live look in the downtown area, I-65 and I-70 at the North Split. Still those orange barrels out there, but the good news is today is the day they are reopening the eastbound lanes of I-70. Westbound will remain closed a little bit longer between the east side at 465 and the North Split, but that's great news if you've been avoiding this part of your commute or rerouting. That is scheduled to reopen today. Well, the rebound is our initiative here at RTV6 to make sure that you have the resources that you need to make a personal comeback from this pandemic. So, Raphael, let's talk right now about those gas and water bills.
And so, Lauren, this impacts a lot of people. I found out that Citizens Energy Group will begin an outreach effort to help 50,000 of its customers with their overdue water and gas bills. Here are the details. Out of the 50,000 customers, nearly 13,000 people were facing disconnection before COVID-19, and their services were kept on before the governor's order. Now, Citizens says it wants to help people set up payment plans, plus connect their customers to groups offering financial assistance right now.
To help customers catch up on those past due bills, get those flexible payment arrangements in place so they can be paying a little bit frequently over time. So we can, our number one goal is to not disconnect customers. It's absolutely vital that people have water as well as natural gas service during this public health emergency.
So go ahead and call Citizens, or to connect to help, you can call 211 to find out which group runs the Energy Assistance Program in your area, in your county. You can also go to this long email address, which is eap.ihcda.in.gov for information. I would just call 211. Something new. The state has also awarded $17 million from the feds to help with energy assistance. Now, here's the good thing about those dollars. That funding can help people that usually would not be eligible for energy assistance. So people laid off due to COVID-19 could apply for those dollars. As for Citizens Energy, they'll begin their effort outreach via mail, in your bill, and also on television.
All right, as you take a live look from IMS back towards downtown Indianapolis, I love this shot as always. You can see a couple things, but you notice the sun reflecting on the buildings. That sun is coming from a northerly direction, and the further north you are today, more in the way of sunshine you will see across the area, and that's going to play a big role in high temperatures later on this afternoon. 30s and 40s this morning, 44 in Indianapolis, 47 in Bloomington. And as you look at your satellite radar picture, a couple things. Clear skies to the north, as I mentioned, and then we also have a few spotty showers that are kind of sneaking in here now in southern locations down towards Bedford as well as Seymour. And if you live in southern locations throughout the entire day today, you will have a little better potential of a few spotty showers as a warm front starts to make its way north across the area. The further north you are, the more sunshine you'll see, and that's why high temperatures today in northern locations will be warmer than southern locations. 66 in Logansport, 67 the high temperature today in Muncie, compared to only about 57 to 58 degrees in Bloomington and Bedford. And then in and around the metro area, temperatures will be right around 60 degrees. So it's a decent day for us, just a little bit warmer to the north compared to southern locations. Everybody's still below that normal high of 72, but by tomorrow, everybody will be above that number. As far as going forward, you see those shower chances on TrueCast continuing in southern locations this afternoon. They're just very spotty. They're very light, and that is just about it. Overnight tonight, as that warm front comes through the area, a little better chance of a few scattered showers, but most of tomorrow is going to be a dry day, and it's going to be a very warm day with highs right around 80 degrees. The change, though, will be in the afternoon and evening. You notice those storms develop. Those storms are going to be right along the warm front, so if you do see that rain, it potentially will be heavy at times, but it's just going to be a thin band of rainfall that will impact the area. So if you do live in northern locations, you have to be a little more weather aware tomorrow compared to southern locations. A few of those storms could provide some damaging wind, and that's by far the main threat with those storms tomorrow within that marginal to slight risk area in northern locales. Going forward in the forecast, you notice there's thunderstorm icons all the way through Sunday. Friday's potentially the wettest day across the area. Saturday and Sunday very much like tomorrow with just some spotty storms, highs near 80 degrees. And then those showers end early Monday morning. Most of Monday and Tuesday is going to be bright and sunny with temperatures that'll be in the low to mid 70s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. If you're heading out on the roads to start your Wednesday, here's a look down on the south side, I-65 near County Line Road. Traffic is pretty quiet there, moving along smoothly, both northbound and southbound. No crashes on the south side to slow you down. The only crash I'm monitoring right now around the Indy metro area is on the near east side at Michigan Street and Sherman Drive. No injuries to report. Raphael?
So we can't seem to let it go. It's the highest grossing animated film of all time. So what went into creating Frozen 2? Coming up on Good Morning America, Olaf himself, actor Josh Gad, will tell us the behind-the-scenes secrets every Frozen fanatic will want to know.
All right, well, she caught COVID-19 even though she took every precaution. Coming up, she had a very close call, but now there's some really good news to pass along about a local nurse and her battle with the virus that lasted more than a month. That story and more coming up after the break. Stick around. We're working together, working for you.
Despite, of course, the somber death toll from COVID-19, there have been a number of great stories of survival, Lauren, with some very amazing happy endings.
Yeah, that's right. And we've told you the story before of Leslie Clapp-Vogel. She's a nurse from Carmel who was placed on a ventilator in March after contracting the virus. Well, Leslie's daughter told us that her mother had been social distancing and working from home, but still managed to get sick. She was actually in the hospital for 46 days and on a ventilator for 31 of those days. And on Tuesday, we can tell you Leslie was finally released. Her daughter sharing this amazing video of the hospital staff cheering her on as she left. Leslie will be in rehab facility for a while now, but certainly this is a wonderful update we wanted to share with you. Congratulations to her on her recovery. I think as we're all hoping for some good news, though, in the forecast, Todd, you've been saying all morning, this is our last kind of cooler day till we get to some good news.
Yeah, you know, we're a little bit below normal today with a high rate around 60 degrees. But as we get into the day tomorrow, highs around 80 degrees with some spotty storms. Better rain chances on Friday. As a result, a little cooler at 75. But then spotty storms over the weekend.
Thank you. And thank you guys for watching. We're back in 25 minutes and all